Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Jenny and this is our Houston Smith home. In today's video, we're just gonna do a fun little Christmas decor haul. This is gonna be some new things I've picked up this year. I'm also gonna head down to the basement and pull up all of my totes. My husband's off work today, so I'm using him. He's gonna help me pull up all of the totes. Already got the trees up. I hope that y'all enjoyed last week's video. Still don't have those decorated. I'm planning to do that soon, y'all. It's turned cold here in Tennessee. We are freezing this week, so that's really put me in the mood to get started with Christmas. I hope that you'll enjoy today's video. Just gonna do a little haul showing you all of my new and old stuff. Maybe it'll give you some ideas for your own decorating, and hopefully we'll be getting into all of that soon. Now, I always say this every year that I'm gonna start doing this earlier and earlier for y'all, and here we are. I have two boys. They're in sports, they're in all these activities, and we are so busy, y'all. We are so busy. My youngest started playing middle school basketball this year, so that has been taking up a lot of our time. And so a lot of the things I've been wanting to do myself in my home, I've not been able to do. So hoping we'll get to decorating soon. I may have to start putting out 2 videos a week. Y'all know I always upload a new video every Friday. Let me know down in the comments if you'd be interested in seeing more from me, because I feel like I have so much I want to share during the holidays. So I might have to start doing a couple of weeks. So y'all let me know if you'd like to see that. But let's go ahead, get down to the basement, pull everything up, and get started on the haul. Okay, up from the basement. Sorry if I'm out of breath. We just brought up all this stuff, and y'all, I'm so unorganized. That's something I really need to work on. My friend Vicky on here, she was like, Jenny, there is us a good video idea of organizing this stuff after the holidays. So somebody remind me of that I need to do that and make a video about it, so that will hold me accountable to do it, because I have stuff everywhere. We just brought it all up, and I'm gonna do a haul, and I'm not gonna show you everything in here, but I am gonna show you just some like really good basic pieces and things that are really good to have and you can use year after year or so. And then I'm gonna show you a few things that I've picked up this year. So let me turn you around and we'll get started. I think I'm gonna start out with just some stuff that I already have and own. I'm gonna show you just some good garlands and wreaths and greenery. These are just like staple pieces that are just very neutral. You can use them year after year. And then you can add in different things like your own bows or berry stems or things like that. Like if you want to do a certain color theme or you want to change things up a little bit. These are just really good staple pieces, and it's just some things I've collected over the years. And then a lot of this you still too can buy, or I can link something very similar. So let's start with the greenery. This is probably my favorite garland. This one is from My Texas House. I got it last year, and it's their cedar garland. It has that real feel touch. This year it's just under $35, but it's a long strand. I think it is a 9-foot strand. So it's long, it's just really good and drapey. Highly recommend this one. I really, really love it. Now I have seen Hobby Lobby has a similar version. And you know, you just see them here and there, but the one I have is My Texas House from Walmart. I think I still saw some of this in my store here recently, so I'm gonna link anything that I can down in the description box. But let me show you. Remember, this is the cedar, and then this year they came out with the Norfolk pine in the My Texas House, and I'm just not as impressed with it. Same price, same length. I think it's a 9-foot strand, and it's just under $35. This one's pretty sparse, and I've actually had it laid out in my basement because it had a really strong odor to it. You know how a lot of this stuff has like a strong kind of chemically smell. So not as impressed with this one. What I will say about this one is I think it would be pretty maybe mixed in with more than one piece, but just as one piece by itself, I'm not that impressed with it. So we'll see what I end up doing with it. I'm gonna use it for sure. And like I said, it's not terrible. I don't mean to just like say it's bad, but I think you could do better. Hobby Lobby did have a Norfolk pine, if you can still find that. That looked pretty good. I think it ended up being a little bit cheaper, but I don't think it was as long. So anyway, we'll see what we do with this. But the cedar one, it's good. It's really, really good. This is the one that I use on my fireplace. If you've been around here long, you know I just have a small little electric fireplace. It's not big at all, so I can't do these really full, beautiful, drapey garlands. I think they're gorgeous, but it is way too much for my little fireplace and my space there with the tree right there in the corner. So this is the one I use. You won't find it for this price anymore. I think it's more in the 30s this year, but they do still carry it at Walmart. It's very pretty. It has like all this mixed greenery. It has like the real feel. And then I just intertwine it with some battery powered lights. I even still have the lights on there. And it's really, really pretty. And it's just a nice option. And like I said, I did see them again in my store. The lights I picked up at Aldi like a few years ago, and they just add a little bit to it. I really love it. This next one is just absolutely stunning. It is super full. It is huge. This one was sent to me a couple of years ago from A Floral, which if you are familiar with that company, they have just amazing, realistic faux florals and things like that. They're expensive though. Very expensive. I think this is an 8-foot strand. It retails for well over $100, but it is beautiful. It's gorgeous. Now it has a very bright green color. Here is the My Texas House to kind of show you that color difference. I kind of prefer the darker color. It's a very bright, but now last year I just draped this alone over my arch cabinet, my Better Homes and Gardens arch cabinet. I just draped it right over the top. I'll try to insert a clip, but it's just gorgeous. I always try to share when they have a sale, because they do run sales, and it's a super nice investment piece, but you can just see how full and lush it is. Let's move on to wreaths. That's the only garland I have, because like I said, I don't have like the big fireplace. I don't have anywhere I can do a ton of the really gorgeous garlands that you see some people do. I think it's beautiful. I just don't have the space for that. So those are the only garlands I have. So I just wanted to share those with y'all. Now we'll move on to wreaths. This one needs fluffed up a little bit. These are the ones that I used on my front door last year. They're very full and pretty. They have some of that like real feel little branches in there, but they also just have some of this traditional like filler branches. But these are so nice and such a good price at Walmart. I did see they still have them again this year. I have double front doors. I just added my own ribbon. I kind of got some of this crushed velvet red ribbon from Walmart last year. Added my own. Like I said, you can change that out from year to year if you want to do different colors or whatever. This is just such a nice base. But anyway, some wreaths are just outrageously priced, and these are so affordable. Even with a little bit of a price increase this year, like everything has had, still so affordable. This is one that I always hang on my kitchen cabinets, like above the microwave. It's Hearth and Hand, but it's several years old, and I don't know if I saw one similar this year, but it's just on the wire. So just hang it up there and I'll add a ribbon. Last year I think I did like a red and white striped ribbon, so I'll probably do something like that. I don't know what happened to the ribbon, but anyway, I'll probably do something like that this year. But again, just a nice basic simple piece that you can add. I like the size of this one to go up on those small cabinets. Works out perfect. This one was from Target a few years ago. I actually got it after Christmas on their sales. I got it for like 75% off or something. It's really cute. It's on like the grapevine, and it has the bells, but the bells were silver, so I just added a little bit of rub and buff because I like a more of a brass gold touch. And then I added my own bow. That's some of that ribbon I was telling you about. I think it came from Walmart. I'll have to look and see. But yeah, I usually hang it. It's got like a little hanger here, and I just hang it in my office over my mirror. I have one of those kind of anthro-inspired gold mirrors, and it has the little intricate detail on the top. I just hang it right over that and have it on my mirror in my office. This is actually another one that came from Walmart. I'll have to look and see if they have these again this year. It's also on like the grapevine wreath, so nice and sturdy. It has like full-size pine cones. I always put this one on my back door. We always leave our back door open a lot of times, and so when you open it, this will be showing inside, or if you close it, it'll be showing to the outside of our covered patio. So I usually hang it up there, and again, I'll probably add a ribbon, or I may just leave it just the way it is. Now I'm gonna move on to some little like mini tabletop trees and some stems. I think some greenery stems. Now this is another piece from A Floral, so that's where that really gorgeous deluxe garland came from. They have this little Norfolk tree. It's super pretty. Now Hobby Lobby has some very similar this year, pretty similar in size, and just also in like a little black pot, but you can put these down in a basket or whatever. I'm sure the ones at Hobby Lobby are a lot cheaper, but when I went in my store last week, they had so many of them when I went the first time when they first started putting out Christmas. when I went last week, I saw none of the Norfolk. So if you want those, you better go be checking your stores, because if they still have some, you better grab them. But this is gorgeous. I will link these because they are super high quality and very nice. And a lot of times they do go on sale. So if you want the A floral, watch for a sale. I'll try to share that if I see any sales or coupon codes. This was just a little tree from Hearth and Hand. They usually come out with these every year. I got it after Christmas. It was kind of broken. Not really, but kind of broken. So I got it super cheap. But I usually just set it around. These are great for like kitchen countertops or bathrooms. Even the smaller versions, they have like little small ones. Perfect for kitchen counters, bathrooms, anywhere you just want to add a little pop of greenery. Now this one comes in a pretty pot, but also you can sit these down in a basket. I saw that Studio McGee has some of these. Now Studio McGee Christmas at Target is on sale, so check that out. Not everything, but a lot of things are. And they had some real similar to this in like a wicker basket, so check those out if you like that look. Now these also are Hobby Lobby. They are cedar. And I think my store did maybe have a few of these left. They have them in all different sizes. They actually come in just a black, like metal pot, but I just put a little rub and buff on there. I think it looks great. You can get them in different sizes. I like to pair like a couple of them together on like an entryway table or something like that. But pretty good size on these. They had several different sizes. They even had some a little bit smaller than this. But yeah, just put a little bit of rub and buff on there, and I think it really elevated the look of those pots. But again, you can drop them down in a basket or whatever you like. These are great little filler trees. Just some greenery. Now this I got last year at Joann's. Our Joann's is closed. I think I say this every video that I talk about. I have something from Joann's. I don't know if any of them are still open anymore, but I always loved Joann's for their florals and stuff. But look at these great little drapey cedar stems. I have 3 of them, but I tell you what this will be great to use for as well is if you do have a room, like a really big fireplace, and you do a big drapey garland, or if you have a staircase and you do a big drapey garland, if you just need some filler and you just need to fill in some spots, you could stick these in there with like a little zip tie and just let it flow. Those would be really pretty. You can also just put them in a vase and let them kind of cascade over one side. I can't remember exactly how I used these last year, but love these. I got this whole big bundle at TJ Maxx. It is Martha Stewart. Y'all know I got that tag on there. $12.99 is what I paid for it, but I've had these probably 3 or 4 years, so I don't know now. You probably wouldn't get them for $12.99 now. I'm gonna say probably $16.99 now, because it's a pretty big bundle. Of course, Hobby Lobby is a good place to get stems. And then let me show y'all some I just picked up at Walmart. I already had these out on my kitchen table, which I'm not gonna be leaving them there because I have something else I'm about to show you that's gonna go there. But I saw these in store the other night and I was so impressed. Again, got that tag on there still. I think these are like $4.50, I would say under $4.50 per stem, but it's pretty good size. It has quite a bit on it. Has the little pine cones. And again, you can just mix you in, like if you want to add in some red, just mix you in some red berry stems. You know, Hobby Lobby has great stems, of course 50% off, but you just get kind of those small ones and just put them through just to get you a little bit of color. But this made a beautiful bouquet, and it is 4 stems in this pretty large vase. But what I'm actually going to put on my table this year came up from Target, Hearth and Hand. Y'all, this is so gorgeous. When I saw this, I just loved it. I thought it was so pretty. It has the 3 candle holders, lots of greenery, and it's on a real nice wide base, and then it has like these little metal legs, so it's just gonna sit nice and flat. I was picturing some red candlesticks and maybe even some of those little red berry stems I was talking about, but I was expecting this to be like 50 bucks. That's just a realistic price I was expecting, which I probably wasn't going to pay. But when I saw it online, it was $30. So I ran back to my store, because when I saw it, my store had like 3 or 4 of them. Ran back to my store, and I think I found the last one. So went ahead and picked that up, and I'm on the hunt for some candles. I picked up some at Walmart, but I don't think they're exactly what I'm wanting. So I went into Hobby Lobby and forgot to look at the candles. So I'm gonna have to go back to Hobby Lobby. That's usually my go-to for taper candles. I found another one of the Hearth and Hand like I said, just great little staple pieces, and I think they're really pretty to just pair a couple of different sizes together. But again, this size is perfect for just your kitchen counter if you need just a little something there, or bathroom, you know, just to stick it on the bathroom counter, especially if you're gonna have guests over and having holiday parties and stuff like that. These are just perfect, and I don't know how much they are this year. I'm gonna link everything, but in years past, they haven't been terribly priced. And then also going on trees, you don't have to just think greenery. I've seen some of the prettiest little trees. Now I got these last year from Studio McGee. This year they came out with some new ones that are very similar, but they're a dark wood tone, which is just very rich and beautiful. I'll try to put up a picture of those because they are pretty, but I just bought these last year, so I don't need them. I actually think you could stain these because they're the actual rattan, not like that plasticky stuff. So thinking you could stain these if you wanted to get that darker look if you bought these last year like I did. I'm not gonna buy the new ones, and I'm just gonna leave mine this color because I like the natural too, but these are super cute. So you could do something like this. I've seen little wooden trees. This year I saw some that are like marble, like green marble, even some like white marble. And also I have some somewhere, if I come across them, I'll show you. They kind of look like mercury glass. I got them at Walmart last year. Super pretty. I think they're Better Homes and Gardens. So if I come across those, I'll show you those too. But just little trees to sit around. You could put them all in a bunch or however you want to do it, but these are great. Okay, I did find those. Look how pretty these are. They just have kind of that golden hue to them. I like that they're open on the bottom. So last year I put some of those battery powered little fairy lights, little twinkle lights. I put these on my coffee table last year, but these are just gorgeous. Something else that I came across that I wanted to show you that kind of goes along with garlands. I got this last year. It's from My Texas House. You can see I added in my own ribbon, but it's just a long garland, and they're just plastic, but it looks like these vintage bulbs. So pretty. I think I hung it up last year in my office maybe, but these are really pretty. And then I saw at Hobby Lobby, they just had tons and tons of stuff like this, but they had these little bells, and you can just like mix this right in with your greenery, and I just think it looks really pretty. This one's a little tangled up, but last year I paid like $5.99 for this, or even maybe less than that. I don't know. I'd have to look and see how much they are this year, but super cute to add into your garland. Okay, and the next thing I wanted to show y'all are some bells. All of mine came from Hobby Lobby. I know you can get these on Amazon. I have seen some, like maybe My Texas House at Walmart. Not sure if those are in stock. A lot of people share them from Amazon. All of mine are from Hobby Lobby, but just these vintage style bells. I think somebody was making fun of me because I was calling them vintage brass bells. Obviously, I know they're not vintage if I bought them at Hobby Lobby, but they have that vintage look. I was just using that to describe them, but let me show you what I'm talking about. So they have tons and tons of these. I will say you usually have to grab these early. When they start putting stuff out in like August, that's when you need to grab this kind of stuff. Check your stores, you can still find them, but this is what I'm talking about. They just have that really aged brass look about them. I have a few different sizes. I even have some that have 3 bells on them. I usually hang these with my stockings. Looks so pretty. And then these I'll just sit them together on a table, and you can add like a red bow, a velvet ribbon. You can use these in so many different ways. But let me show y'all the new ones I got this year. Look how pretty these are. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with them, where I'm gonna put them just yet, but these are so gorgeous. They're wooden. They actually ring. They have the bells inside, but these are heavy wood. Somebody asked me how heavy they are. I don't know how much they weigh, but they are heavy. They are thick wood, so keep that in mind if you're wanting to use them somewhere that might not hold something really heavy. But these are gorgeous. I caught these like in August, probably, maybe early September in my store. I did not see them when I went in there last week. That doesn't mean I don't have them. I noticed in my store, up on the top shelves everywhere, throughout the store, not just in the Christmas section, just, I mean, back in the crafts, everywhere on top shelves were just bins and bins of Christmas stuff. So if you don't see something, maybe ask. I don't know, you know, if they maybe still have stuff that they're getting put out or they're moving down as it gets sold out, but wouldn't hurt to ask if you're looking for something in particular. But these bells, if you can find them, perfect. And the full price on these were $22.99, so like $11.50 for these is just an awesome price. One thing I wanted to show you, and I wanted to show it to you lit up. I just have it right here on my kitchen counter right now, but this is the little 24-inch. This is the 2-foot My Texas House tree from Walmart. Has that real feel touch, has some little mini twinkle lights, comes in this cute little basket. I also have a 4-foot version of this. Now my 4-foot version is older, and it has a different basket. The basket is much better this year. Love this. If you can find this in stock, it is just the cutest little tree. I'm probably not gonna put anything on it. People ask me a lot of times if it will hold ornaments. It's a very little floppy minimal tree. I wouldn't say it's gonna hold a lot. You could put some bows or something like that, but I wouldn't count on this to hold any heavy ornaments, but it is so cute. I'm gonna say that's pretty much it as far as just like my staple pieces, some staple greenery and things like that that I use every year over and over. Some really good pieces to invest in. So now let me just show you a couple of things that I've picked up this year. I did not pick these up this year, but I forgot to mention them. But art, just pieces that come out. I always look for something that's like a really vintage feel. I love that. I love this one. It's from last year. It went crazy viral and sold out super fast. I was able to grab one. I love it so much. I've seen a lot of people share similar ones from Amazon, or some people just print out and make their own. But they didn't come back out with anything similar to this year, but I love this so much. And then this one was a hearth and hand piece I actually bought last year. This one has glass. I prefer just like a canvas, so there's not that glare on there. But this one I used all winter long. It's not just really specific to Christmas. I'm trying to get the window out of it. Not really specific to Christmas. It just has a lot of like wintry trees and stuff, like a sketch. So I used this in my arch cabinet and it is just really beautiful. But just get you some really good art pieces that are not a particular theme, just something nice and neutral you can use over and over. Now, if you follow me very long, you know I am a traditional green and red Christmas girl. I decorate everything that way. I've never gotten really into the neutral Christmas theme. But normally I put a Christmas tree up in my bedroom and I don't even decorate it. I just leave the lights on. I just like that glow in the bedroom. But this year I put up my tree in the bedroom and I thought, I think I'm going to put just a few things on it. And I'm going to kind of go with that, a little bit more of a neutral theme. So I picked up some of these. It's just like the brown, tan, cream blocked ornaments from Hobby Lobby. This was the only size I could find, so we're going to see if those will work. I also ordered a few ornaments from Studio McGee, and they haven't come in yet. I was hoping to be able to put them in the video, but I'll just like pop those up here so you can kind of see what I ordered. Already got everything filmed and was starting to edit, and one of my packages came in from Target. These are so pretty. They are gorgeous. It's kind of assorted sizes, and it has a green and just some different colored tans, a little bit of a lighter colored brown. These are going to go on my bedroom tree. And then I also ordered the colored box too. It's not going to be in. I'll have to pop it in here on the screen to show you, but I'm going to use it over here on this tree because this tree is going to have all of my like kids ornaments, homemade stuff they've made at school over the years and all that stuff. But I thought I would just do some filler little balls in there. Now they have red, blue, green, you know, they're the colored. It's the exact same box, but these are on sale. Really good price on these. Super nice quality. Got a few of these picks, and it's just kind of some little velvet balls. Got a few of those to stick in there. I'm gonna keep it real minimal. I'm not gonna put a lot on there, but I thought I would make some bows, or sometimes I don't even make bows. I just tie like little ribbon strings on my tree. So let me show you the color palette I kind of did there. So kind of a really mossy green color, and then this is just kind of a bone color, and then like a chocolatey brown. I thought I would do that. Now these just came from Hobby Lobby back in the sewing section. They weren't on sale the week I went, but I wanted them to go ahead and get this done. So $4.99 for a spool of that though, and I think that's gonna make me quite a few little ribbons. So I'll show y'all. We'll do a whole video in the bedroom. Also ordered some sheets from Target. Again, my delivery was delayed. It was supposed to be here yesterday, so I was hoping to show y'all that. But we'll do a whole bedroom video and I'll show you, because I don't typically change out my bedding too much like for Christmas. But this year I'm gonna do some sheets and maybe like some throw pillows to tie in with my Christmas tree. Y'all have already seen this in a Target shop with me video, but these are wonderful to grab for the different seasons. I grab them every season from Hearth and Hand. It's just their little flower sack towels. They're huge. I like to hang them on my stove or, you know, dishwasher or whatever. And also these would be great for gifts. You just do one of these and like a gift card or a coffee mug, whatever. And then this is one of the Hearth and Hand coffee mugs. I just use it to sit on my Keurig. It's a little bit small for me. I like a big old coffee mug, but I just sit it on my Keurig and I loved that green color. And I did pick up this little gingerbread house from the Target dollar spot. It was $5. It's really like a little cookie jar. I'm gonna use it to put my K-cups in and use it in my kitchen for Christmas. Now, I'm loving the gingerbread stuff. I'm seeing it everywhere. Target had tons. They had some in the dollar spot, but also had just a whole section. I'm seeing that Walmart has. I'm gonna try to get back into my Walmart store because the last time I was in, they didn't have all of this kind of stuff out yet. It was like right around Halloween. So gotta get back in there. We may do a whole video on that. Who is into the gingerbread stuff? I need to see your pictures because I am loving all of this. All right, that is it for today's video, y'all. I've got to run. I got to hop on a call that's about to start. I hope that you enjoyed this little haul that we did today. I think that was fun, just kind of getting everything out. That's something good for you to do too, maybe. Just get all of your stuff out and kind of get an idea of what you want to do. Then if you need anything new, you can go and look for that specifically so you're not just kind of like browsing and constantly wanting to buy everything new. You know, I'm bad to do that and then I get home and I'm kind of like, what am I going to do with that? So, you know, if you kind of get everything out, you kind of get an idea of what you want to do. And again, like I said, all of these pieces are just nice staple pieces to have year after year, and then you can change them out a little bit with the accessories. That's what I like to do. Hope that's helpful to you. Be sure and come back next week. I do upload a new video every Friday, so I hope to see you then. Bye.